Dynamite channel, welcome. This is another reviews video, a special late night Whisky and Kittens edition. I'm gonna check out this video on how chains are made. Okay, go. You can go down there. Alright, no more kittens, just Whisky and me late at night. I had an afternoon nap, so it's 11 o'clock at night. Everyone's gone to bed in the family, but I'm wide awake, so I want to do something useful. Make a new video, why not? So, just found this. This is how chains are made, so I want to see how chains are made. Basically. This kitten is going to cause so much trouble. Stop. Right. Machines. Music.
To make a chain,
okay.
the turning drum uncoils this wire rod and pulls it through a steel guide ring to a steel drawbar.
Okay, this is a proper bit of chain, yeah? Proper strong bit of steel chain. So this is thick wire. 8mm or 9mm? Don't know. Yeah, bit of some serious machinery here. This is all greased out.
Grease inside the box.
Oh, there you go. Told you.
The wire. On its way.
Wait. Hang on. It's a short video, so I want to really understand what's going on. Pre-made coils. This is turning. Must be electronically operated. I can't imagine like a petrol-powered generator. There's going to be a lot of background noise while a kitten causes chaos in the room. Yeah, wow. Yeah, right mess. There's a grease spraying everywhere. Really, you can see this is still bent and flexy going in there. Pulling it through. It's just like drawing metal through your draw plates. It's just a big industrial version of that. Really powerful.
The wire. On its way out of the box, the wire goes through a die.
There you go. So it makes it thinner.
Being demonstrated here. The die has a smaller diameter than the wire.
Alright, we understand that.
Pulls it through.
I wonder how long it lasts. It must wear it out, having that just wire going through it. Unless it's some sort of super tungsten or something, I don't know.
Arrows hardens and becomes stronger.
So yeah, that makes sense to me. It's getting harder as it's pulled straight and it's pulled narrower, so it's going to be really hardened, and then it's being forced around this coil.
Now, electrically driven tools move in from all sides.
Cool.
This is a forming machine. A tool called a jaw propels the wire forward.
That's just so satisfying to me. I love metal things against metal things. Like, I'm quite an old soul, yeah. I like air-cooled motorcycles. I love the smell of my toolbox. When I open my toolbox, my wife laughs because she comes in sometimes and she needs to borrow a tape measure or something, and she'll ask for it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll open my toolbox. And the first thing I do, I open the lid and I just go, she'll laugh. It's just like, why do you want to smell your toolbox? But I love the smell of it. It's just like oil and steel. Is just a nice, like, man smell.
Pushes on the wire. It forms a C shape.
Maybe the whiskey was a bad idea.
Another forming tool uses.
Alright.
And then another.
So they're like teardrop shapes, yeah? So it's just connecting them up, teardrop shapes, closed up, they're not sealed or anything.
This machine is making jack chain, which is usually used to
Jack
hang
chain.
lights.
Okay. I've seen that. Look at this machine. Woo! I love this.
The machine makes a chain that can haul a heavier load.
I've got no idea what's going on here, but I really like that machine. You got if you appreciate mechanical things and especially metal work, even the machine that makes that is really fascinating to me. Like, because there's nothing happened on accident. Every single part of that was designed and engineered. People who make the tools to make the tools. Amazing. And this all looks quite old as well. You can tell by the picture quality. This is quite some old footage. When's the video? Video's from 2016. I mean, this machinery looks like it's from the 50s or something. Inside a massive channel, 7.85 million subscribers. Let's have a look at this. Comments. Imagine showing this to a medieval blacksmith. Yes, I've been researching like jewellery recently just for video ideas. I've been like researching like ancient civilization jewellery. It's amazing. It blows me away. There's literally stuff they're doing. I've got no idea how they did it. Even with LED lamps, magnification, oxypropane torches, micromotors, I could not do what they were doing 4,000 years ago. I'm proper blown away by it. So I'm really enjoying studying what really ancient civilizations were doing. Amazing. I'm really amazed by it. So I'll look out for that in the future videos. I'll be talking about what I've learned. What's going on here?
Steel cutters now make notches on both sides of the wire.
Okay.
These notches mark the place where the
They're slightly out of a line. Are they? Or maybe they're directly in line.
wire is to be sliced into link-sized pieces.
That makes more sense to me that they're in line. A little bit of a kink there, mate.
A mechanized knife makes the final cut at the notches.
What's going on here? It's chopping it off.
Roller arms loop a cut piece of...
Okay, so it chops it off, that little length, goes over there. It goes to this side of this rounded piece, and then these arms come out, and then they fold it round.
wire.
There you go. They come and do their thing, like you see, it's like a roller shape. Just like those ring sizing machines, you can screw them in like a D shape up to the ring. I need to get one of those. They're quite cheap to buy, and I find them quite useful. I miss having them sometimes. They're really good for when you've done a D section shank, which is like flat against the finger, but the outside of the shank is rounded. You can really get that rounded section really perfect with one of those ring sizer things. So I'm not actually, when I use them, they're not really for sizing rings. They are more just for getting that D section, get your size your rings, the little edge, little chamfered edge, like really perfect. So it's similar to what that just did, but that's rounded just to match the curvature of that wire and just push it into shape.
Around a steel finger.
And then when it draws back, do you see it rotated it? Did you see that?
A cut piece of wire around
See that?
a
See, it rotates it.
finger. The roller arms make it
Love
look
it.
easy, but they're actually...
Isn't that just satisfying and just lovely to watch? Like, I really like try to understand what's going on. I don't just look at it like the whole thing. You know, like before I learnt about motorcycle mechanics or car mechanics, you just open a bonnet of a car, say. You just see, if you don't understand what parts are, you just see a load of like tubes and blocks and things. You don't really have any idea what's going on. But when you start to understand certain parts and what's connected to what does what, you start to see things individually. And then after that, you start to see the quality of them and then how things could be improved. And then beyond that, you can start to redesign things yourself. So it's very different just looking at things and just seeing moving parts and then actually really studying what's going on.
exerting tons of pressure in order to shape this...
Hang on, let me watch it again, just listen to what he's saying. He is actually sharing some useful information by the sounds of it.
The roller arms make it look easy, but they're actually exerting tons of pressure in order to shape
Yeah, I
this
bet.
wire.
Tons of pressure.
After the rollers form the link, a pliers-like tool grabs it and turns it around. This positions the completed link so that it can connect with the next link as it's shaped.
Love it.
Now a pulley system drops the...
I've got fascination to how it's made and also appreciation for whoever designed and engineered the tools and how it just works so effortlessly. The amount of pressure, the amount of strength it has to have. Just how the tools all just work together and just works beautifully and reliably. What's going on here?
system drops the freshly welded chain into a heat-treating coil. An electrical current
So it's getting
runs
hot?
through the copper coil, heating the chain.
What? Do you see that? Okay, right. Being a jeweler, I know the amount of effort, the amount of heat, the kind of flame it takes to heat up just even a small bit of gold. This is a thick bit of steel. With my torch, it'll take... my torch got oxypropane torch. I reckon I could get one link red hot relatively quickly. But when they're all connected to... or when all these links are connecting to each other, every time there's a surface against surface, that's like conducting heat. So it takes more effort and more time to heat it up. So whatever these coils are doing, because that just looks like painted red. It's not like red hot, is it? That's quite impressive how quickly that is heating that chain, because that chain is not going through slowly at all. No, it's dropping down as fast as the camera's dropping down. And it comes out red hot. I'm quite impressed with that.
1724 degrees.
1724 F Fahrenheit. Only Americans understand Fahrenheit. If you're in America, by the way, just so you know, the rest of the world uses centigrade. We don't know anything about Fahrenheit. So if you're talking about temperatures, don't bother with F. Like, we don't know what that is. Like, what is that? I literally got no idea what that is.
Fahrenheit.
Just going to guess 600 degrees C. So red hot and then immediately into water. Okay. Yes, steel does that. You quench steel, it gets hard, it gets brittle. Oh, there you go, it's brittle.
So it goes into a second heat coil that's not as hot as the...
So it's going through another heat coil. No wire. It says another heat coil. There's nothing around that making that hot. Is this true?
Into a second heat coil that's not as hot as
the must be.
And then
it's all steaming.
This takes away the brittleness and
yeah, it's all steaming as it goes in. I don't really understand how that tube is going through is hot. Anyway, how it's made. Oh, was that the end? Okay. the process of making chains. Well, I didn't really learn a lot. I just saw the machine turning up the chains, turning up the wire into chain, and then heated it up and blah blah blah, chain. Okay, that's it. That's it for this video. Quite a silly one. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit drunk on my own at home. Why not? So a quick look at the comments before I turn the camera off. He's just about saying yes. I have seen a video recently on this comment reminded me. I watched a video on Japanese swordsmiths back in the day, like some early video footage, like 2 of them just banging it with a sledgehammer. And this was like, I was watching it in the middle of the summer when it was like the hot as possible, and I'm like dying, just sat like in an air-conditioned room. I can't imagine how difficult work must have been being a blacksmith in Japan in the Japanese summer, or just any country that's very, very hot. Blacksmithing, it's just hot anyway, and then you've got to work with red hot metal and fires and kilns and shit all around you. Yeah, really hard work. So I was thinking of doing a video comparing like old times Japanese blacksmithing, swordsmithing, and then comparing it. I'll find a video of like modern blacksmithing with all their modern equipment and how easy everything is compared to how it used to be. So that's an idea I've got for a video like this. The roller arms. This is how, the first sentence sounds like this might be quite funny. The roller arms make it look easy, but they're actually undergoing a severe midlife crisis, and their wives left them and took half the house and kids. Please be kind to the roller arms during these struggling times. Okay. Thank you, Chains, for keeping these old school production machines still running. It's amazing to see what complex motions they make, powerful but also precise. I will buy more chains whenever I can and use them now. What? Yeah, look. Bruh. The fact that it turns orange just after just 1.5 foot of copper coil blows my mind. Yeah, me too. Yeah, these are humans from decades ago. They were more clever than what modern people are capable of. We just sit on our phones complaining, thinking we're special. Yeah, pure function, no beauty. I like that. Function, form over function. No, form, function, bollocks. So there's always this guy, someone who's got like genuine experience. This chair's a bit high today for some reason. There's always a comment from someone like, I've got 50 years experience. I get it on my channel all the time, on my videos. Used to work in a steel factory making chain, usually up to 10 mil. One thing they left out of this was the welding process. Yeah, good point. I didn't even think of that. I told you I felt like I didn't really know how chain was still made, which was very cool. The links were electro welded, where the 2 ends were pushed together, tight join, always. 2 electrodes came down on either side of the gap, and then a powerful electrical current was passed through the area, superheating the gap into a continuous piece of steel. Fusing, arc welding. The other part that was left out is the tedious and lengthy finish process. In our setup, we put our chain through a pull testing machine that applied force to roughly 1 foot at a time of the chain. Any weak links would split. You are the weakest link. In fact, you could hear a weak link coming up as it touched the other chain in the batch with practice. Afterwards, every single... Yeah, TIG welder. Finally, TIG welding, arc welding. I can't remember what TIG welding is. Finally, the chain is tumbled and polished. Chains laid out back and forth. Then we use a forklift to put each batch 400 inches for finally, smooth batch will be lowered into the vibrating machine. Burns your medium polished chain. This sounds like high quality chain. I don't think it's always done like this. With our 2-man team, we'll knock out around 3,200 feet of 5mm chain a day. Only possible if our grandfathers made these machines very well to be reliable and do their job continuously all day, every day. Respect your ancestors. And then when you do the shit by hand, people complain that you're too expensive. Right, I'm ending this video now. Right. The kitten's gone quiet. It's making me nervous. Where are you?